Hello students, we have started the first chapter of your history and that is the French Revolution. In first part of this chapter, we have discussed the causes of the French Revolution. We have learned that two types of taxes were paid to the state by third estate only. And those two types of taxes are tithe and tithe. Tithe was a tax levied by the church comprising 1/10 of the agricultural produce. And tithe was a tax to be paid directly to the state. Students, Louis XVI had to increase taxes for reasons you have learned in the first part of this chapter. On 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called together an assembly of the States General to pass proposals for new taxes. The last time it was done was in 1614. It means the meeting was going to be held after 175 years. A resplendent hall in Versailles was prepared to host the delegates. Students, the Estates General was a political body to which all three estates sent their representatives. The first and second estates sent 300 representatives each, who were seated in rows facing each other on two sides, while the 600 members of the third estate had to stand at the back. Peasants, artisans, and women were denied entry to the assembly. And there was a voting rule in Estates General that each estate had one vote. Louis XVI wanted to continue the same practice as he was expecting the votes in majority. He thought that first estate and second estate will give their vote to him. But this time, third estate demanded that each member would have one vote. But King rejected this proposal, and that's why the members of the third estate walked out of the assembly in protest. After that, on June 17, with talks over procedures stalled, the third estate met alone and formally adopted the title of National Assembly. And 3 days later, they met in a nearby indoor tennis court and took the so-called tennis court oath, vowing not to disperse until constitutional reform had been achieved. And within a week, most of the clerical deputies and 47 liberal nobles had joined them. And on June 27, Louis XVI grudgingly absorbed all three orders into the new assembly. On June 12, as the National Assembly continued to meet at Versailles, fear and violence consumed the capital. And on 14 July 1789, rioters stormed the Bastille fortress, liberating prisoners and ammunition. Bastille fortress was hated by all because it stood for the despotic power of the king. Students, Bastille was completely destroyed by the rioters, and its stone fragments were sold in the markets to all those who wished to keep a souvenir of its destruction. Students, this event, now commemorated in France as the national holiday, as the start of the French Revolution. The wave of revolutionary fervor and white separate hysteria quickly swept the countryside. Revolting against years of exploitation, peasants looted and burned the homes of tax collectors and landlords. Now, the great fear situation arose in France. A large number of nobles fled from their homes, many of them migrating to neighboring countries. So, after all, Louis XVI finally accorded recognition to the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his powers would from now on be checked by a constitution. And on 4th August 1789, feudal system was abolished. All types of taxes were abolished. Lands owned by the first and second estates were confiscated. As a result, the government acquired assets worth at least 2 billion livres. And now, the draft of the constitution was made by National Assembly and they completed it in 1791. Now France became a constitutional monarchy. Students, you may be thinking that what made France a constitutional monarchy? What type of laws were written in the Constitution of 1791? Had all citizens of France got their rights from this constitution? Dear students, you will know the answers of these questions in next part of this chapter. Thank you.